how men and women of Asaba in Delta State were summoned and massacred during the war. The story of the Asaba massacre is not being taught at school in Nigeria because of several incidents during the Civil War. The Asaba massacre remains the single worst tragedy of the Civil War. For people that don't know when Asaba massacre took place, during the Biafran War, the Asaba massacre took place in early October 1967, fighting over the succession of Biafra, the predominantly Igbo Nigerians' former eastern region. Asaba is Igbo ethnically and linguistically, but never was part of Biafra. Asaba people typically identify as being Anyoma. In August 1967, 3 months into the Biafran War, Biafran troops invaded the Midwest region to the west of the river Niger. They spread west, taking Benin City and reaching as far as Ore, where they were pushed back by the Nigerian 2nd Division under the command of Colonel Murtala Mohammed. The federal troops gained the upper hand and forced the Biafran back to the Niger, where they crossed the bridge back into the Biafran city of Onitsha, which lies directly across from Asaba. The Biafrans blew up the eastern spans of the bridge so that the federal troops were unable to pursue them. Asaba is the capital city of the Delta State, located in the south region of Nigeria. The Asaba massacre took place in October 1967 during the Biafran War. Asaba wasn't part of Biafra, while ethnically and linguistically it is Igbo. The Asaba people are also known as Anyoma people. In August 1967, Biafran soldiers occupied the Midwest area and the Niger River in the west about 3 months after the Biafran War. They invaded the west, ruled Benin City and went to Ore. Unfortunately, under Colonel Murtala Mohammed, others Nigerian 2nd Division forced them back. The federal troops had driven the Biafran back to the Niger Delta after gaining the upper hand. The federal troops later invaded Asaba on the 5th of October 1967. They destroyed houses, killed people, and then said that they were Biafran sympathizers. Some people from rumor that we are also killed at different locations in Asaba region, both individually and in groups on the morning of 7th October 1967. The townspeople were called to meet with leaders. It was a sort of support for one Nigeria, intended to stop the bloodshed. Hundreds of them walked along the streets joyously saying, "One Nigeria." Men, women, and children with famous ceremonial attire, akwacha, but at one point, men and young adolescent boys, including young girls, were separated from women and they were gathering in a village in the open field called Ogbe or Sowa, with the Major Ibrahim Taiwo reportedly second commanding office. The federal troops installed machine guns in their disguise as the Biafran sympathizers. There have been reports of the cumulative number of around 700 men and young boys killed following a number of other killings in the previous days. Some families were able to retrieve the bodies of certain victims and were properly entered into a funeral, but most were sepultured without a loss of funeral. Many women became widows, and families lost their fathers and their children. Many of the cities were abandoned. Women and girls raped and abused, and some were married. For a considerable length of time, the federal soldiers took over Asaba, prompting a more noteworthy number of regular citizens leaving Asaba, the vast majority of them returning after the civil war that finished in the year 1970. However, others didn't. The inexact all-out number of killings was around 1,000, despite the fact that the specific number couldn't or may never be known to date. Thank you for listening to this news. My viewers, each time I listen to the Asaba massacre, or each time I'm out to broadcast about the massacre of Asaba people, I won't lie to you, it gives me a lot of worries. It gives me a lot of worries and a lot of pains, because I remember that our forefathers, our fathers were deceived. They were deceived. They were cheated. You know, they were deceived, having made them to know or believe that they are inviting them for a peace talk, for a settlement and request for for a stop and demanding for one Nigeria. So it gives me a lot of worries on how our parents were deceived. That is to let you know how deceitful our Nigerian government has been. Our Nigerian government has been very deceitful right from that 1967 period. This is how they deceived Adakaburu of Niger Delta, by drawing him to themselves, used him, sucked him dry, and threw him to the trash can. The same way they deceived the Asaba people and they massacred them in numbers. My dear viewers, you can see the injustice happening in Nigeria, that it is not something that just started today. It has been something that has been in existence since the year 1967. So this injustice really need to be put to stop. We must put a stop to that. So please, what's your take on this news? Please don't hesitate to leave those comments of yours behind. Click on the subscription button as well as bell button to get updated whenever we upload any new videos. Thank you.